Hey everyone, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Although I am a licensed clinician, I'm also just a person. I love to be able to be in my real life and speak from that point. And that's where this podcast is coming from. So enjoy.
Searching for truth, looking for answers. There must be a way to another day.
Hi everyone. Happy Sunday and happy Valentine's Day for those of you who celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. This is Joe Keen here. I'm here with Aaliyah Keen.
What? Did you feel the need to introduce? I already introduced. I'd have to introduce
well, you didn't
myself
say your name.
every single
time. You didn't say your name.
At this point, people know that I'm Aaliyah. I mean, it says it even on the description of the podcast.
Oh, all right. So you were just talking about how I need to
step up
my intro. So there I did it. And now you're saying we don't even need to say our fucking name.
Oh my God. Jesus. It's shouldn't be this difficult.
Anyways, you want to just get right into it? Trump acquittal. We're back on Trump.
Well, before we get into that, there was a lot going on last week that just to follow up, you're feeling better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah, literally the next day I was perfectly fine.
Yeah, you're feeling better. Everything's good. We're all good. Parents are all good.
Still got lupus.
I still have lupus.
It's not funny, though.
I still have lupus and I still can't open my jaw. Right, yes. Or chew. Mm-hmm.
We're working on it.
I'm working on it, yeah.
I make her an organic green smoothie every morning.
He does. You do, yeah.
And that's what we do to protect ourselves from corona and lupus. Now, you could put a mask over your lupus, maybe. Maybe that would help.
Oh, my God.
If your shoulder hurts, just put a mask over it. That'll stop.
Listen,
stop everything.
This is coming out because I was talking about if we ever were to travel or anything like that, because, we've been talking about at some point taking our honeymoon and, being able to do that because we still have not had a honeymoon. And I was just telling him that if and when we travel, I'm going to be wearing my mask the whole time, even if the other country does not wear their masks, because I have lupus and I need to protect myself. That's how this conversation came up.
And I said, we are protecting ourselves every day by making green smoothies and eating organic and healthy and working out and doing all these things that build up your immune system. In fact, actually, human contact and getting germs on your fingers and face and in your mouth and stuff is actually a part of the building of your immune system process. But that's stupid. That is a conspiracy theory. And just put your mask on and shut up.
Well, it's not stupid. We know that's true because that's what children do, right? And that's what they have to do to build their immune systems and to allow their bodies to fight off germs. So actually, in that documentary Babies that we watched on Netflix, it actually very clearly stated that children actually need germs and need to be around a lot of that shit so that their bodies can actually build up the immunity to stuff.
I just don't know why they just say just children. It's everybody. A child is a human being just like you. Mm-hmm. The only difference is they don't have a buildup of years and years of toxins from eating all kinds of shitty food and whatever the fuck else is on Earth. So their immune systems are a lot fresher and cleaner and can fight off things immediately. As ours, we have to work on it. Right.
Yeah, and this actually also came out because I saw, and then I told you about it, this post from, let me see if I could access it actually, just to tell you guys. A friend of mine, Raph, shout out to Raph,
who's going to be on the podcast soon. We're going to call him or have him over.
Damn, where the hell did he send it to me? He sent me a post. gosh, I don't have it anymore. Oh, so annoying how like Instagram, like it sometimes like gets rid of the posts that. Anyway, it was another Instagram post that somebody else, and I guess he's someone famous. I actually don't know the person, but
it's probably a conspiracy theory, so they just got rid of it.
He had a blue check next to him, so I'm assuming he is famous. Anyway, he, I guess, came to Florida to visit, and he had posted this really nice post about how, you know, although we're in this world that we're living in right now with COVID, it was, and although, you know, every state does things differently, etc., it was nice for him to at least have a sense of normalcy while he was in Florida. Because I know that people knock Florida and they're all like, oh, Florida doesn't know what they're doing. They're crazy. They don't care. They're blah, 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 blah. They're so dumb out there.
That's only New Yorkers say
and
that.
I do hear you with certain things. I get it. But I will say the one thing that I actually do respect about Florida right now is that they are allowing people, if you want to be those people, to actually still have a sense of normalcy in life. And I do, for mental health reasons, I do think that that is extremely important, to be able to just be, you know, and not have to, like when we got married and we were in the Keys, and you know, we booked this like cruise for my dad's like 70th birthday, and I didn't know actually booking it that it was going to be this like big cruise with like a whole bunch of. It wasn't even
that big.
It wasn't, but I didn't know there was going to be a whole bunch of people. I thought it was just going to be like people. Our party though, you know? So when we got there, I was kind of initially taken back because I really don't feel comfortable being in like large crowds of people, but I will say, once I kind of just went on the boat and we had some drinks, we were hanging out, masks off.
Dad was dancing.
Yeah, everybody was chilling, hanging out. Man, it felt so good. And it was needed because at that point we had been in freaking quarantine and fucking lockdown for like months. And so it was so nice to just have a moment of like, like.
Yeah, if you haven't experienced it, I mean, you can catch a flight down here for like $50. Like nonstop from anywhere on the East Coast. So you should just get on it today and experience normal life.
Normal life here or Texas, I guess.
Texas is a big one too that everybody's going to. People are moving out of California, moving to Texas.
Out of California, yeah, really.
Yeah, it's like LA, Chicago, and New York are like the epicenters of like Corona and doing the quote unquote right thing.
Well, no,
everybody's
I don't
leaving
think they're
there.
The epicenter. Well, New York's pretty.
Not
New
epicenter.
York was
not epicenter. Like what I meant was like
in terms of the following the rules,
where
and
everybody
the laws
went
and how you
strict on the rules and they shut everything down. And now guess what? Everybody's moving out of those places because it's fucking. You can't live there. It's like
it's very. I mean, it's got to be very depressing.
Yeah, you can't go out. You can't make a living.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what that feels like because we've been here, but I will say, like, speaking to some people who are from New York, who live in New York, it's like depressing talking to them because they're just like, haven't done anything. Oh my God, I'm so traumatized by COVID and what happened. And it's like, well, fuck, I'd be traumatized too, especially if like I had to then see what I saw and then continued to not go anywhere and just sit in my fucking house. Yeah, for a year. And then I live in this city in a small ass apartment.
Cold out in the winter.
It's cold with no fucking yard or anything like that or outside to go. Oh my God, forget it. Fuck that.
Get on a plane and come down to Florida.
Depression and anxiety at all-time high. My goodness. Ridiculous. Please, people, in all honesty, I really do want to address this because it's really, I really truly hope that, especially at this point, it's been a year and change, you guys, or a year. It's like, I really hope that you're all also considering your mental health and your emotional health. And I do understand that, you know, this is also another issue and medical issue and people are dying or have died and people are getting sick. I understand that. So I'm not dismissing that. But I do feel like what is being dismissed throughout this whole time has been mental health and the emotional health piece. And so I hope that even if you don't want to be around lots of people, which I get because I don't really either, but like I still go out. I still go to the zoo or go to the museum with my kid, and
Well, we can
go
do
out
that here. All that shit's closed in fucking New York.
Right, exactly. so if things are shut down still where you're at, then get creative, man.
Get on a plane.
Go for bike rides. Get out the house. Go rollerblading. Go, I don't know, like play volleyball, whatever, man. But like you gotta. Oh, it's so fucking cold. They can't do any of that stuff out there. So then what do? They're screwed.
You get on a fucking plane and take the
Get on a plane,
risk.
take the protocol, wear your mask,
You
bring
have
your
to wear a
hand
mask.
sanitizer, do all that stuff.
The plane is the cleanest place on earth, basically, right now.
Get on a plane and get your ass a vacation, okay? You can still be safe while doing those things. Like, you can combine those two things, you guys, So, yeah, I just really hope that people are doing that.
Well, I like Florida and Texas because like they're allowing people to take the risk, quote unquote risk, if they want to, right? But if you don't, then just stay in your house, right?
It's the choice.
You have a choice here.
You have a choice. No one's taking away your choice, which I really like that they're doing too. They're saying, hey, look, if you want to, you want to. You don't, that's up to you. And I don't know about you guys, but I, as a human being, as a person, I like having the ability to have a choice. I like, as a human being, making my own choices,
Yeah. Also, another thing I wanted to talk about was the, not the choices, but what was I going to say? Just being, I'm going to have to cut this out because I forgot what I was saying.
You don't have to cut it out. People forget what their singers have forgotten what they were singing from their own fucking songs on stage and have still sung.
Yeah.
You're cutting that out.
It was about decisions. We were talking about your own decision. And yeah, I don't know.
Gone.
Something like that, yeah.
Choices, yeah.
Well, it was like I was just thinking about this idea of like, oh yeah, what I wanted to talk about was what you don't know. You only know what you know. You know how we were talking about that the other day, where like if on the news every day they told you how many people in the United States died in car accidents, like a lot of people would just stop driving. But you don't, because you don't know that 50,000 people died in the past month in car accidents across the United States. But I'm sure that's probably close to the actual number. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's less. Even if it's like 10,000 or like 1,000 people, right? If they told you every single day, here's the new update on the deaths from car accidents on the news, right? People would stop driving.
No, they wouldn't. You know why?
Why? There's a lot of people that would. I know for a fact. Are you kidding me?
I'm going to tell you why. People would not stop driving because there's a difference between... Okay, let me see how to explain this. There's a difference, if we think about it, between asking you to stay at home, right? And they're not making you stay at home. They're just asking you to stay at home and just be respectful of other people.
That's another thing. Everybody thinks that.
Right. No, they're not. They're just asking you. Stay at home, be respectful, do those things, da-da-da-da, right? Versus telling people, giving people a statistic, let's say, saying that 50,000 something people died in, I don't know, a month from car accidents. People will not stop driving still because driving benefits them. If it's something that benefits them in some way, shape, or form on a selfish level, a self-absorbed level, because human beings are actually self-absorbed.
Oh, going out partying and drinking, that's not like a selfish thing that they can't do now, but they're not doing it because the government asked them to not do it?
It doesn't benefit them.
How does that not benefit them?
Like long term, like it doesn't benefit long term. Like anyone can go freaking like months or whatever without going out to a bar, drink at fucking home. But a car and getting from A to fucking B and fucking driving to the grocery store and doing all those things, no, that's a necessity.
But then they'll just do the basic necessities. They're not gonna like go fucking.
So what's the
driving? Listen, maybe that. The one that I know, I just tried to bring up a different one because I always bring up, all right, if they told you how many people die from the flu every fucking month or every day even, we would have already been wearing masks fucking 20 years ago because so many people have died. Over the past 20 years, millions of people have died from the flu.
No, but it would have to been like this. It's not just that they would have had to tell us how many people were dying from the flu, because people do know how many. I mean, the numbers are out there. The media would have had to turn it into a huge thing,
right? So
and then
that's what I'm saying. What if they did that with
oh
cars?
my gosh, everyone's dying.
Right? What if they did that with car accidents? What if they did that with fucking anything? They could literally pick anything. People die from all kinds of shit all the fucking time. And if the media wanted to hype it up and like all the stations were on board with it and they wanted to inject it into your brain, people would still be driving. Now, the people who maybe other individuals probably would. I'm not saying that everybody would still keep driving, but I think that the numbers would be a little different. I know damn well, I'm telling you right now, like, I'd still be driving every damn day. I have to get around. I got shit to do. I got a kid. I got a grocery store. This, that, It'd be weighing on you, though. You'd be thinking about it. You'd probably be a more cautious driver, probably.
I'd still do it. Got to get around. It's a car. It's an essential. Drinking is not essential. Going out to a club is not essential.
Living your life is essential. See, that's what people are, I think they're not realizing. And this is the mental health aspect of it, right? Then you're starting to think about these things and put it out there, right? But like, people clearly have not thought about their mental stability over the past year.
But there's a difference between, I would say, well, no, of course not. But there's a difference, though, between, I would say, like, so for example, although I'm not saying that this whole lockdown quarantine is good for anyone's mental health, because it's definitely not. But I do think that there's a difference between not driving. Like, what if you live in like fucking like Omaha? I don't know, well, and there's like nowhere to, like, you have you only have the car to get around.
You're missing the point. Like, you always go down these rabbit holes when
you go down rabbit holes.
When I pick something, like, I just picked car accidents. Think of another thing where a lot of people die that if the media just exploded it. Right, okay, there you go. That's not a necessity. So nobody would say they. Yeah,
got it. Okay.
I don't know how many people die on plane crashes. It's definitely way less than car accidents. But think of something that is actually killing people on a regular basis that nobody is aware of. I don't know what that fucking would be. Like, I heard shark attacks. There's actually a lot of shark attacks.
Yes, there actually are.
Imagine if they, like, every day they told you 3 people died from shark attacks in freaking Ethiopia or, wherever, the fucking Thailand or wherever.
Right? You're right. I'm actually saying that you're right on this podcast for everyone who's going to listen to hear.
Yeah.
Because that example pertains to me with shark attacks. I have a fear of the ocean. And I don't really like to be in the ocean because of fear of sharks, but I also have come encounter with sharks in the water, and so it's scary. Yeah, man. I lived in Florida for like a really long time.
Well, my whole point is that if you really take a step back and think about why you are scared of corona, it's because of that. It's because they spew it out at you every fucking night, and they tell you how many people died every fucking day.
Yep.
And it's on your brain because they're injecting it in there. And if it was anything else, shark attacks, car accidents, flu, whatever they told you that people were dying all the fucking time from, you'd feel the exact same way. That's my whole point of saying this.
Yes. Okay. So if you just said it like that, straight from the beginning, then we wouldn't have gone into this
I know.
whole thing.
I always
gone
go
down
like,
the car rabbit hole. It would have been a very clear, cut and dry. Conversation.
See, and that's where we went with the last night too. We could talk about that with the whole like the movies and the different actors and stuff. Right?
What do you mean? Oh, with the because I called you racist.
Yeah. When I was saying, all right. So what I'm saying is currently...
Say just what you meant to say.
What I meant to say?
First.
Okay.
Very just cut and dry and clearly. Bam.
All right.
Don't say it the other way because then you're going to sound racist.
So there are a lot of movies that come out. There are movies coming out and they're basically remakes of like other movies that have come out in the past with white actors, right? It's the same storyline, the same everything, but they'll either put a black actor in there or the Asian actor or fucking Indian, somebody, and then they do the same fucking movie, but with a black actor or an Asian actor. And then people think it's like the greatest movie ever and it gets nominated for all these Oscars and shit. And I'm like, why? It's the exact same stupid movie that didn't get Oscars before but now because it's like an ethnic thing, like people, I feel as though people feel obligated. Like
See, so-
I don't know, maybe it's because the white community is so like, and I'm half white, but I feel as though they feel like, you know, they've let culture down or something over the years, and they feel responsible, so they need to give back to the.
But they have in
and
a way,
okay, but like
culture.
For me, I'm not like one of those like woe is me people. Like I'm half Korean and half white, and I literally grew up in a white neighborhood, and everybody was fucking white. And I went to the elementary school, everybody was white, and they made fun of me for being fucking ching chong whatever. You can ask any of my friends from fucking back in the day. I just fucking figured it out. I dealt with it. I fucking beat some kids up. I got beat up. Figured it fucking out, right? I'm not asking for the world. Oh, you know, everything was so horrible for me when I was growing up, so I need white people to fucking cater to everything I fucking do and say now.
Oh God!
So I went down that rabbit hole.
It just sounds awful. It sounds awful. It sounds awful.
Well, that's how I feel. I'm not speaking for like, I'm not being, that's not a racist thing because I'm half fucking Korean.
Oh my God. Now you're just validating what I said last time with the I have lots of black friends, so I'm not racist thing right now. Oh my God. You sound
having black friends and being half Korean and experiencing life as a half Korean is different.
it just doesn't sound good right now.
The only reason why you feel as though like I can't talk like this is because I am like I've gotten past all that shit, so I don't bring it into our lives.
My thing is this though, is that let's say there are movies that have been nominated that were all white cast and let's say a black cast that were the same type of movie and they both got nominated. So
I guess, listen, I'm not saying it's across the board. I mean, there's some great actors and maybe ethnic actors that do it better than a white actor.
Fuck yeah,
right?
there are.
For sure. So yes, some of those movies need to be nominated or whatever, but like,
because they haven't in the past, because the Golden Globes has focused only on one type of freaking race.
Yeah, because guess who runs that shit? A bunch of fucking people.
Probably old white men. I don't know.
So instead of like, this is what my thoughts are, is like, and I'm sure this is happening, especially like in the black actor community or whatever. I don't know a lot about movies, but I'm assuming it's probably happening where they're just making their own fucking shit. You know, they're funding their own shit.
You're talking about like just like black actors?
Yeah, well,
Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely.
A perfect example, right?
He absolutely is doing that.
So that's the way to go. Not like, all right, don't work within this fucking shitty system that everybody fucking hates and everybody knows that white people fucking nominate all the fucking whatever.
And this
then
is
go create your own fucking Oscars.
It's not even just a color thing. Also, I want to also focus on, it's also a gender thing, because there are many women actresses who actually are not getting paid the same as the white male, I want to be specific, white male actors are. And it's actually been out there. Like, they've talked about it. Like, I actually think Brad Pitt or one of them recently took less pay because of the, you know, and they're both headlining. They're both stars of the fucking, so this goes for.
But this can be across the board at the fucking local insurance company or grocery store. Like, it doesn't matter what job it is.
But at the end of the day, who always is on top? Who always comes out on top? The white man.
Right. And this is a cultural change that takes a long time.
Not a white woman, even. The white man.
Things are changing, though. Things are changing. And we don't need to use the government to make up new laws and shit. We just have to be okay with the slow, incremental changes that are currently happening. Right? Mm-hmm. We're all aware of this. Even the majority of white people are aware that their ethnicity, their culture, maybe not them personally, but people that look like them in the past, old white guys or whatever, have stepped all over ethnic people. So they're trying to give back, and they're giving opportunities to other ethnic people. So we're on the right path. But it just takes time, because how long did it take us to get to this point where we got these fucking Epstein fucking creepers doing whatever the fuck they're doing and underpaying fucking women and not hiring black guys and Asian guys or whatever? Like, it took a long time. It took probably like 50, 100 years to get to that point where like everybody knows, but they can't do anything about it, right? So maybe it's gonna take another 50, 100 years to get to the point where everybody's just like equal.
Yeah.
But I also get concerned about like going so far, and now this isn't just like with actors or whatever, this is with government and, you know, just in general of any kind of job, that we'll get to the point where white people become the discriminated ones, and I don't want that either. I think everybody should be equal, right? So anyways, why is it so okay for like some like say black chick to get on Instagram and be like and have an Instagram show called "Fuck White People" or something, and that's not racist? Why is that okay? Am I going off on a rampage here?
No, I don't think you are. I mean, you know,
there's been Netflix shows called like something about like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like,
well, it's not called "Fuck White People." It's called "Dear White People."
There you go. Now, if they had a show called "Dear Black People" and it was all a bunch of white people talking about black people, that would be racist. Why is it not racist the other way around? Did I have a point here? Or?
I mean, again, I hear what you're saying. Let's see, how do I?
Well, yeah. How do you justify this? Like it's okay? Because you're trying to figure out how you can make this like, oh, it's okay, but it's really not.
I'm not saying that it's okay, because I don't think because I do hear what you're saying. I just think that. I don't know. Race is such a difficult. It's a difficult one for me to talk about. It really is, man, because it's just like, it's like I see it from both sides. So it's like,
yeah, I do too. You just can't go to the extremes though, because that's what everybody hates, whether it's one way or the other way. So you got to kind of just balance it and be okay with certain things. I guess if it's one show called "Dear White People," then I guess it's okay. But if it's like 3 or 5, then it's getting out of control, and you shouldn't do that, and that's racist.
However, what I will say though is that the title of the show is called "Dear White People." I don't think there's anything really racist about that. But I mean, like, I will say the show itself is actually, man, there's never been fucking shows like that, and that's what I'm saying though. There's always been shows with all white casts that have no education or history on any, whether it be black culture, Asian culture, Indian culture, nothing, man. And now, God, we have so many, like Netflix. When I go onto Netflix, there's like a whole row of like Korean dramas, like Korean shows, and I'm like, this is awesome, you know, like I need to check one of those out actually. And then there's like there's like a whole, and I love it now. So just even that show specifically, we're talking about "Dear White People," it's such a great show because it hits on a lot of the issues that actually do go on in the world, and they do it in a really great way, because that's a Spike Lee joint. It's a Spike Lee joint, I believe. It's
unfortunate that it's such a racist title.
I don't think it's a racist title.
How is it
They're not saying anything bad. They're just saying "Dear White People." All
right, so then
I'm writing a letter, dear black person.
So if you saw "Dear Black People," you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's a great show," and there's a bunch of white people fucking making the point of how black people fucking do certain things or whatever. Like, that's racist.
Now I can see though how if that show came out,
that would be very controversial.
It would be extremely controversial.
And why isn't "Dear White People" extremely controversial?
I believe
because
it was,
everybody's
though.
Just like,
I actually feel like it was. Like I wouldn't doubt if it wasn't controversial. Like I'm pretty
but
sure
everybody's okay with it because I feel like white people are like, well, okay, well, you know, my ancestors really shit on black people, so I guess I'll be okay with this.
It's a fact. Ancestors did shit.
Yeah, they did, but not fucking Jimmy down the fucking street, who's not racist whatsoever, and he's white.
No, not at all.
So why does he have to fucking, you know? Anyways, I'm like, kind of defending white people. I get it.
No, I don't think that
I'm
we're
not racist. I get the whole thing. Why?
I don't think it's about really defending any. I don't think it's defending any person, whether it's black or white or anything like that. I think that this has always been a very, very, there are like certain topics out there that when discussed, for me, is very like, oh, okay, like I gotta really kind of look at everything here at all angles, and race is one of them, and I think as well as like when we get into like the LGBTQ population, I think that's another conversation for people that can sometimes get a little,
that's what we could go right into. We were talking about it yesterday. I don't know if you want to.
Which I'm like all for that. I'm like all for that. In terms of the conversation?
The conversation we had yesterday, yeah.
Well, I'm all for transgender people, individuals playing sports, any sport. And
so you do want to talk about this?
I mean, you're the one that's going to sound like shit. That's for sure.
No, I won't. So we're talking about how... What did happen?
Wait, let's go back for a second because I want to make sure that so just to wrap up the race conversation, I don't think it's about defending anyone. I think it's a hot topic. It's something that gets people very passionate. I will say though that being in an interracial relationship, and actually I've always been in interracial relationships.
Make that known.
Well, no, I'm saying this for a reason though. Out of all those interracial relationships that I've been in, I never once was in a relationship, number one, that was mature enough to really have a conversation with the other individual about race. And I think that that's so important to do really in any relationship, but specifically in interracial couples. You need to talk about race because it is a thing, especially if you have kids, man. It's going to pop up. It's going to happen. Things are, and so, because I think that really is important and it makes the unit obviously a lot stronger, but yeah, I mean, and you and I have gotten heated, I've gotten real passionate and really defensive, I would say at times, with you. Because, like I said, it's it's a hot topic and gets people going. But,
well, I think dear Asian people would be like the neutral compromise to, because nobody would care about that.
But that's dangerous. That's also a dangerous thing. We got into that yesterday.
Why would nobody care about dear Asian, but everybody would care about dear black people and dear white people?
Because society does this thing with Asian people, I feel like, where they just kind of throw them in this category of okay, they're okay. They're light skinned. And so they can fit in with somewhat of
there'll probably be an Asian president soon.
Population, and they're not dangerous. Well, except for now. Now forget it. Now Asians are being discriminated all over the place because of fucking COVID, and because fucking Manson kept calling it the fucking China virus, and so forget about it. Now
Yeah. All right. So briefly, do you want to talk about what we were talking about yesterday? We'll just 2 minutes.
So, yeah.
So, something about Joe Biden, the federally, he did some sort of executive order where he just made it all transgenders can join whatever groups they want, I guess.
I don't know. We actually don't even really know. Yeah, because we didn't read it. A friend of ours brought it up yesterday, and then it triggered a conversation about transgender
in the UFC.
Individuals being in the UFC specifically because all three of us who were having this conversation watched the UFC. And so I chimed in and I was like, oh my God, he did that. That's amazing. I'm so excited. Blah, 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 blah. That's so fucking great. And then I was like, wait, it just became legal? This should have never been illegal. Da-da-da-da-da. Right? And all this stuff.
Well, I don't think it should be illegal.
I'm not sure if it was.
Yeah, whatever. I don't really care. Whatever, but if you're so you're a transgender male turning into a female, right? And you just there's probably not a lot of them, but I'm sure there's a handful, right?
In terms of UFC fighters,
athletes, right? And specifically UFC fighters. Right? I don't know. There might be one. Maybe.
That was specifically what we were talking about. In the UFC.
So if you're a male turning into a female and you are an MMA fighter, that would mean you would have to fight other females, right? But your natural
genetic
makeup is a male. So no matter how many hormones or whatever you take, most likely you just have an innate, like men, it's just a fact that men are physically more stronger than most women, right? I'm not. There's scenarios, I guess, where you could get a bodybuilder woman and put her up against like some transgender guy who's going to be a fighter, like that weighs less or something, and then maybe figure out how to equal it out. But like for the most part, if you're born a guy, you just have those traits. So listen, I would pay for the fight. I would love to see it. But I just think it's unfair in some ways.
Unfair in terms of the fighting, in terms of physically, he's talking about unfair of having solely based on someone's biological makeup and what they genetically are, and then to go into a ring, an octagon, where you are really brutally fighting and beating someone up.
I mean, this would be, there's probably maybe literally one person, and if they do it successfully, I mean, they could make a lot of money doing this. But the reality is like MMA fighting, UFC, that's like real shit. You're not like going to go play tennis or something.
It's not like basketball.
Yeah, it's not like basketball.
It's
even
not like basketball.
Yeah, it's physical. Basketball's physical, but not like
fuck
you're
that.
getting
It's
punched
not like
in the
UFC
face, right?
physical. It's fucking like not like tennis, basketball. Right.
Even football. I mean, football's probably the closest comparison.
UFC is the only,
but it's
the
one
only
on.
sport
Yeah, because UFC is a one-on-one thing. So you wouldn't be able to compare basketball or football. You'd have to compare it to like tennis or some other one-on-one sport, right? But yeah, I just think that
I personally think that it can be done. I hear what you're saying.
I'll watch the shit out of it.
But I definitely think that it can be done. I'd be very excited to see it be done. In really any sport, because I am all for it. But I mean, it was I hear where you guys are coming from in terms of that piece, I guess, specifically pertaining to the UFC and that type of fighting.
Yeah, like I think whatever, anybody should be able to do anything. The only problem also is with like when you allow these things, then you have to kind of within your organization, say you're the UFC, say you're Dana White, you have to have special accommodations. Like, all right, I don't know, can they?
Why would there have to be special accommodation?
I don't know, like bathrooms and stuff like that.
The bathrooms actually are there's all gender bathrooms going on right now.
All gender bathrooms, like locker rooms and shit.
Like well, not all, but like I've seen bathrooms in certain places where it's like it doesn't matter if you're a male, a female, trans male, trans female. Anyone can use this fucking bathroom.
Well, the bathroom's different. Yeah, I get. I'm talking about like a locker room where there's like a bunch of like naked guys or naked girls or whatever. Like I don't know. What do you create a whole other locker room with for transgenders?
No.
Or do they just go into? It's a guy.
Listen, you have to understand something. If I'm trans female, so I am a biological male, but I am transitioning into a female, I am transitioning into then becoming a woman. I'm transitioning everything. I'm taking estrogen. Maybe I'm physically transforming. Maybe I've had some surgery. I have no idea, right? But everything from that point is now I'm becoming a woman. So therefore,
all right. So you're taking everything into consideration as far as that transgender person, right? What about everybody else? All the women in that locker room. Do they feel comfortable with it? I don't know. Probably some of them wouldn't. Sure, some of them would be okay. But like, see the conundrums that you come into.
No, I'm not saying that I don't. I'm not saying that I don't. I mean, look, I'm not saying that I don't understand that and that I don't hear that part. The same thing happened. I think I told you when I worked in treatment, the world of treatment, and we had, there was actually a couple times actually where there were I think like trans females actually coming into the program. And actually, I will say, which I wasn't the director at the time. I was just like a therapist at the time. And so we don't really make those decisions in terms of who comes in. But we would hear that there was someone coming in, and they never made it the full way in, because then we would have a talk about it of like, well, what do we do? The bathrooms, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we speak to the patients? And they ended up never really coming to the treatment facility, which really bummed me out, because the higher ups would make that call, I guess. I don't know. But so it's like, I see that side of it, but at the same time, I'm so, I don't know, I mean, I'm like so for, honestly, I'm so for that population.
I need to put it out there that I say, went to the gym in the locker room, and if there was a transgender girl turning into a guy or whatever that was in there, and I don't know how I would know or whatever, but I wouldn't give a fuck. But I'm sure there are people. There are
people in the world that would
not race, or not like
they would be feel uncomfortable.
They just are like,
or maybe they are. Maybe they could be actually.
They just don't understand, or
they're ignorant to it, just like people are ignorant.
And it's
to race.
not a bad thing. You have to understand it. You know, you can't be like, oh, you're an idiot for fucking feeling that way. No, you just, people feel comfortable. I mean, there's plenty of guys that go in the locker room that, you know, wear a towel around them the whole time. You know, they're uncomfortable just around fucking guys. Never mind like some transgender, you know? So, I don't know. Anyways, that was that.
This is why I want to watch Palmer.
Oh my God.
Although I have no idea really exactly what's happening with this young boy who I heard was an amazing actor in the movie. But I think it's something along those lines from watching the trailer. I don't know if he's trans, or if, you know, he's just like owning the feminine side of things. I have no idea, but I cannot wait to watch that movie. Great story. I'm probably going to cry.
Okay.
Joe doesn't want to watch it. He thinks it's a snooze fest. We never agree on movies.
All right, can we get to the Trump acquittal?
What are you talking about, Manson?
Yeah. Listen, don't call him that.
Why?
Because, like, you know, he's a human being.
Oh my God, you're gonna flip this shit on me on the day. Now you're gonna make me as a therapist look bad? Fuck.
He's a human
Come on.
being.
Oh my gosh. All right. Shit.
He makes mistakes. He doesn't make mistakes. Anyways, so this guy gets acquitted now. They go through this like whole 5-6 day whatever impeachment thing, and now he can run for president again in 2024. That's basically, everybody knows that that's the reason why you would impeach a former president. Like, it's never been done before. So clearly, to me, this is a whole political thing. I mean, it's very clear. It should be clear to anybody. Like, why would you even care to impeach a president who's already not president?
Actually, I'm going to jump in for a second just to kind of like clear my side of this for a moment. Me calling Trump Manson actually is really me comparing the manipulation skills of both. That's all that is.
Yeah, but it also plants a seed in people's minds of, though, like, Manson has clearly a name that he's already made for himself that puts a thought in the person's mind.
Right, and I see what you're saying. It's like what the media does to us. All right.
Right.
I gotcha. It doesn't take me long.
Although I understand it, you know. If somebody new listening would just be like, Manson? Who's Manson?
Totally.
Oh, she's referring to Donald Trump as Manson? Why is that? Oh, I got to go listen to the fucking first episode.
To even get it, right.
They might not even know to listen to the first episode.
All right, you know. All right. I'll take it.
So the guy gets acquitted, but does anybody listening to this know why he got acquitted? Most likely not, because they're not telling you. And it's
but that clip though that we heard before we play it, we also don't know if those are the only reasons or actual reasons as to why. He's just speaking about a piece of it.
I mean,
so let's be clear.
It sounded as though like that was the
he's speaking about a piece of it. We don't know.
Was it the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back? Maybe that's what it is. But anyways, so we'll play this clip real quick and then we'll talk about it.
What happened at the Capitol on January 6th is absolutely horrific. But what happened at the Capitol during this trial was not too far away from that. The prosecutors in this case doctored evidence. They did not investigate this case, and when they had to come to the court of the Senate to put their case on, because they hadn't done any investigation, they doctored evidence. It was absolutely shocking. I think when we discovered it and we were able to expose it and put it out, I think it turned a lot of senators. The American people should not be putting up with this. They need to look at who these House managers were and look to see whether these are the folks they want representing them. It was shocking to me. Wouldn't have believed it.
Let's follow up with a point that you're making right now about the House managers, as you say, doctoring evidence, and the argument.
They didn't deny it.
Viewers,
they didn't deny it. I put it in front of them 3 times.
To be clear for our viewers, what you're talking about now is a check mark. That's a verification on Twitter that did not exist on that particular tweet. A 2020 that should have actually read 2021, and the selective editing, you say, of the tapes. Is that the doctored evidence of what you're speaking?
Wait, that's not enough for you? That's not enough for you?
Wait, no,
sir,
no. I'm not a juror in this trial. What I'm trying to be clear for our viewers is what you're referring to, because not everybody has been following.
It's not okay
not everybody,
to doctor
sir,
a little bit of evidence.
Respectfully. I have not said it is okay.
Ma'am, your question is
I want to be clear for our viewers.
Listen, what
I
has to happen is
I want to be clear for our viewers about what exactly you're saying when you say doctored evidence.
The media has to start telling the right story in this country. The media is trying to divide this country. You are bloodthirsty for ratings, and as such, you're asking questions now that are already set up with a fact pattern. I can't believe you would ask me a question indicating that it's all right just to doctor a little bit of evidence. There's more stuff that we uncovered that they doctored, to be frank with you, and perhaps that will come out one day. But we won this case, and I'm not a sore loser, but what happened, or a sore winner, I should say, but what should happen is somebody should look at the conduct of these House managers. It's unconscionable, aside from all of the due process violations that my client had. And the media should be looking at a square, straight way. The straight way. When I watch the news, I watch one station and it's raining. I watch another station at the same time and it's sunny. Your coverage is so slanted, it's got to stop. You guys have to stop and start reporting more like PBS does rather than a TV news show that doesn't have any journalistic integrity at all. What I'm telling you is that they doctored evidence. And I believe your question says, well, it's only a Twitter check and changing a year of a date here. They switched the date of a Twitter a year to try to connect it to this case. That's not a small thing, ma'am. The other thing they did is they put a check mark on something to make it look like it was a validated account when it wasn't. And when they were caught, they didn't say anything about it. They didn't even try to come up with an excuse about it. And that's not the way our prosecutors or our government officials should be conducting themselves. And the media shouldn't be letting them get away with it either. I'm tired of the biased media on both sides, left and right. What this country wants, what this country needs, is this country to come together, to take the left and the right and find a middle ground and start responsibly being our public officials, our elected officials. And one of the reasons why they do it is because of the media, because the media wants to tell their narrative rather than just telling it like it is. And frankly, I'm tired of it. I'm not a media. I'm not in front of your cameras all the time. But what I've been subjected to this last week.
I understand, and I've given you the opportunity.
You don't want to hear the truth. Yeah.
I've given you the opportunity. I will remind you that what I said was that for our viewers who have not been following all of the hours of this trial, to be clear about what you are speaking about. And I understand
I'm speaking
that you
about
seem
the House
very
manager's
upset.
failure to prove their case. That's what I'm telling
And
you. They
you
weren't
have
able
won
to prove their
the
case.
acquittal. You have won the acquittal of your client.
Yes,
and if
I
you'd like
did.
to continue to talk about this conversation, we can have that discussion.
I don't need
but for me to ask a question,
A slanted question that was set up to say it's okay for them to cheat. That was your question. Isn't it okay for them to cheat?
I didn't say that.
It's just a little bit. You said, to be fair, it was only a check on the Twitter. That's what you said. You got to live by your words. That's the problem. The media has to start living by the truth and not try to create a narrative.
Michael Vanderveen, thank you for joining us. I do appreciate.
Yeah.
Okay.
First off, the news broadcaster chick, I think he took it the wrong way, that lawyer.
Oh,
Trump's
he
lawyer.
totally took it the wrong way. I didn't get anything that she was being like...
I'm sure he's probably gotten that a lot where... Because I can see his point of view.
Yeah.
Of like... Because they do, the media does do that. They'll be like, oh, it was like nothing. I can't believe that. What else you got, you know? But she wasn't, her specifically, she wasn't.
I didn't take it as though she was.
Yeah,
I don't know what she was trying to do.
She was just informing.
I didn't take it as that.
Because when you talk about doctored evidence, all right, she was just saying... All right, just let me inform. She literally said, let me inform the people, the listeners of what we're talking about here. And that's what it was.
However, I can see, as a lawyer, I can see how he could hear that and take it as like leading
like
or, you know, like, right.
Shit.
It's like, you know, that type of stuff.
He wasn't
but
really listening to her, though, really. I think he already had this preconceived.
Oh, he tapped out at that, and then he flipped. I mean, like, he went into a whole other...
But he did make some good points.
What he said, he made points. So I actually... he made some great points.
So for a group of people that just want this guy to be impeached, and they're, like, literally changing things on Twitter, on tweets and whatever, and then nobody is accountable for... Like, if you did this in a regular, like, court case, that's like tampering with evidence and shit, and then you can be charged with that.
Yeah.
So nothing happens to these people now. They're just like, well, it didn't work. Oh, well.
Right, exactly. It's like, and then what happens to the people that actually tampered?
Clearly nothing, apparently. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would assume that Trump's lawyer should probably maybe do something about
that.
Yeah. But, you know, once again, not a Trump supporter.
Oh my gosh. I'm sick of saying that.
Just saying. I mean, it's very clear, though, that the only reason anybody wants to impeach him at this point in the game is so that he won't run for president in 2024.
The only thing that would make him run for president in 2024 would be really his ego at that point. So I guess we kind of have to wait and see really where his ego is at 2024 in 2024. But
what I was thinking last night was that even if he doesn't run, he still has a pretty solid support system and people that support him. So any candidate that he chose to back would gain all of that support. So even if he didn't run in 2024, that is something that could happen.
Yeah.
Which could benefit somebody, the right person, you know?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how these next 4 years go, because I think there are many people who maybe voted for Trump initially and then, I don't know, maybe switched their votes or whatever and just felt that, you know, they wanted to see something different happen, especially with this whole COVID thing. I think that's what really kind of... you know, hit it high as well for many people. But so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And then come 2024, if Trump decides to run again, it'll be even more interesting to see what happens then. I don't know.
What I think is, like, if Trump is so stupid and he does outrageous things or whatever, then why are people so concerned that he'll run for president again? Maybe he will. But, like, if he sucks so bad, he probably won't win then, right? Like, But if he has an actual support system, which could be close to somewhere around 50% of the population, that's nothing to like just brush off. Like, that's a significant amount of people in the United States that believe in something that, you know, whatever it is that he represents. And you can't just get rid of those people. Like, they're real people. And the majority of them, I don't believe are like extremists that want to go take over the Capitol and shit like that. They're just people that believe in the Constitution or, you know, more lean towards, I don't know, libertarian side.
Yeah, but they're still called stupid.
I guess
because
so.
actually,
Conspiracy theorists.
Solely because I did actually see, it was a post that like somebody posted on Instagram, and they were like, they took a clip, I guess, of some news station getting interviews from people who I guess were there that day of the of the attack, and I forgot what question they asked these people, but it was like a question of just kind of like, do you think that, I don't know, fuck, I wish I could remember, like something is like, I don't know, okay or legal or some shit like that. But their responses to this question that I wish I could remember, every single one of them were just like, I believe in the Constitution and I believe that people should have a right and blah 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 blah, and that was there. And yet the post, though, that what the people who posted this clip said to their responses was, oh, they're dumb. Like, oh, because they're all Trump supporters, right? But I'm like, but let's just take out the fact that they're Trump supporters and just listen to what they're saying, because because I was actually watching it, you know, and again, I'm like neither, you know, but I'm like very much in the middle. But I was listening and I was like, I mean, I get what these individuals are saying. They weren't saying anything that was like dumb or stupid, actually. They kind of made like valid points if we're focusing on what the Constitution states. So I don't really see, but because they're Trump supporters, you know, I think that that's what gives people this idea that they're automatically not good or whatever, you know.
And let me remind everybody, like, the reason why America is because of this document. Because of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution that a large majority of the American population have never read before in their lives. So we're sitting around, we're like, we're America, we're the best country in the world, but like a lot of people don't give a shit about why. Like the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, like these are things that all they are is written text that we have all agreed to abide by. And, you know, I guess those things can be changed, but like if you've never actually read them in the context that they were written in, you have no idea. You're just like, oh, freedom of speech. Of course I have freedom of speech. I'm in America. Well, no, there's like a lot of countries that don't have that. And maybe if you take freedom of speech for granted, you should go visit one of these countries where you say one fucking thing, you go to jail, you get fucking caned,
stoned.
you get the death penalty for just like talking out against the government. So I think we take a lot of this shit for granted, and that's all that some of these people are trying to protect, I think.
That's what these people, so their answers responding to this question that I still can't remember, were basically saying that we as people should I guess live in a world where we're not like told what to do, you know, like basically kind of insinuating that the government tells us what to do. And again, I was listening to it and I was like, I understand what you're saying, yet everybody else who posted it was like, oh my God, that's so stupid. I just remember laughing because I was like, but what's stupid about that? I actually think that, I mean, that would be a cool thing if we could live in a world where like nobody tells us what to do and everyone. But I think that's scary for people because then it means that there's no, you know, and you know me.
But there are rules. Like even if we just like strictly went back to the Constitution, right? Did everything the Constitution said. There's still rules. You can't go fucking killing people.
Right.
You know, you can't go fucking hurting anybody, but you know. And
the other thing also that we were talking about yesterday when it came to Trump and this impeachment was I was mentioning how Well, I think, because you were like, we were sitting at the table and you were like, oh, Trump got acquitted. And then I was like, oh my God, he's still getting why? It was just like, we're still talking about this guy? Like, what's happening? He's not even president anymore. Like, why are we even still doing this? And you were like, I know, right? This is nuts. And I was like, I don't understand, like, why everyone's giving him so much power. That's what I was saying. Like, so much power. Listen, we can, and understand that we can give someone way more power than they really need to have, right? So for example, if I, let's say, have a conversation with someone and they say something or whatever, and I walk away from that conversation and I'm like pissed, I'm angry, I'm resentful, and I'm like, this person made me so pissed.
Right, and you're telling everybody you know for the next week about it.
I'm giving that one person all my fucking power. I'm giving them everything.
Yeah.
Why do they need to have that much power? Why do I need to allow someone to get me that fucking pissed off and make me that upset, for goodness sakes? Why do I? So actually what I want to do is not give them my power and not give them any power. So I'm not going to allow what they said or whatever to affect me. I'm going to continue to go about my life and do what it is that I know that I need to do for myself and what I believe to be healthy. But yet, here we are, let's say, with Trump, and I get that it's on a bigger scale because this is the president, blah, blah, blah. But like, still, the guy is gone. He got voted out. Why are we giving him so much power?
Once again, it's a political thing, and it's these scumbags.
Even speaking about him actually is giving him power, you know? So
these senators and congressmen who are attempting to... It's a selfish thing because they want to make sure that he doesn't run for president, you know? And they're just giving him more power.
You know, I mean, yeah, it's, and I get it, you know, I mean, like, I think that a lot of the things that were done on that side of things were very, yeah, I mean, can come off, I guess, as pretty powerful, but, I don't know, at the end of the day, it's just like, look, he's gone, he's voted out, the world came together, the United States came together, everyone chose this other guy, and this is now what we have.
This is what I'm saying, like, if you just leave it alone, right? Let him be on Twitter. Let him be on everything, right? And if he sucks so bad and he's an unfit president, then he won't be president again, right? So you just leave it at that. But they're trying to restrict so much that they're actually ending up giving him more power.
He's not even president anymore, so I'm confused as to why it is. So you want to take away his voice on all the which I don't think that happened. I think he still actually has access to some of them now. But like, you want to take his voice away or whatever he has to say away from these social media platforms for what? He's not president anymore, so he's not in this powerful position. He's
he can build a coalition in the next 4 years and like take over the world or something.
Anybody can fucking do that, I guess, if they really wanted to. Someone who can, you know. But I mean, like,
right? Anybody could. I mean, you know. I mean, there's people with way more followers than he has that could start something that could take over the Capitol or whatever. You know, I don't know.
I mean,
just let it all be free, let it all be open, and see what happens. You know, that's it. We live in this world of like this like constant of trying to prevent bad things from happening. Why don't you just live a good life and like do the right things? And listen, bad things are always going to happen. You cannot stop bad things from happening. So when they happen, you just have to be prepared and know what to do when that thing happens and deal with it.
Right.
You know?
Well, that
like, you can't get rid of all bad things.
That
it's
would
impossible.
mean that people then would have to have something called surrender.
Relinquishing power.
And surrender, I think, for some people is taken as either weakness or vulnerability or not being able to control something, which triggers people.
Right.
So therefore, it's very hard for individuals to totally surrender. But when we surrender and we just kind of give it up to universe, whomever it is that, I guess, you know, you give it up to, then... yeah, it makes life actually a lot like
makes your day-to-day life less stressful.
Yeah,
and you just
way
do whatever.
easier.
But yeah, and you just deal with it when it comes. Anyways, what else we got?
Well, you know, I was thinking about this too. We talk so fast, and because we jump so quickly from topic to topic.
I think these have been good transitions, though.
That then we're like, by the time we're done, it's like we're done with all of our topics.
Right, we just kind of transition pretty smoothly, I think.
Do you think that?
I think so.
I think we jump around.
All the transitions were pretty good.
They were. I mean, they were. Like, it was a...
I forgot where we started about.
But sometimes I feel like we don't really, like, close up.
We just shut it off.
Meaning, like, so, like, we'll talk about the bathroom, right? And it's like, okay, the bathroom.
Talk about the bathroom?
And then I'm just giving an example.
Oh,
and then
okay.
within the bathroom, we may mention flowers. And now we transition now into talking about flowers, but we never closed up the bathroom.
All right, so
Do you see what I'm
go
saying?
back and conclude everything? Like,
No, not now. But I mean, but do you get what I'm saying, though, right?
yeah. But I feel like we do. Like right now, we just kind of concluded the Trump acquittal, and with our thoughts and feelings about the Constitution and whatever, and then we're moving on to, I don't know, toilets or whatever the hell you're talking about now.
Although you're right, though, I do think that some of these topics that we talk about, there is no, like, closing to them. Like race.
They're all just opinions.
You can't really close that up, man. That's
Right.
an endless conversation. We can speak, you know. The LGBTQ population, can't close it up. It's an endless, you know. There are certain topics that really you're not going to close up because it's just, you can just keep going, especially based on someone's opinion, perspective, etc. So,
Right.
okay. All right.
Take none of what we say as fact. These are her own opinions. This is why it's called a convenient truth, a convenient. This is our truth, right? Like, then you don't have to believe it. But if you do, I would also encourage you to look that shit up on your own as well. You know, if you're like, oh, that sounds legitimate. That sounds like a good point that they're making. Well, look into it deeper so you can understand it further for yourself. You know, don't just go by whatever we say.
No.
Because that's what a lot of people do with the news. It's the news. They wouldn't lie to us. They lie to you every fucking day. All the time. 24/7 lying. They're telling the truth too, but they're skewing it in a way to make you feel a certain way.
Actually, really, I mean, if anyone, then is Manson. It's really the media. Actually,
yeah.
Actually,
It would be the owners of the media.
They
which
are
we're talking
Manson.
about.
I mean, whoa.
Who were we talking about? They were talking about Ted Turner. We're talking about Rupert Murdoch. These people.
Manson.
Yeah. Well, we can get into all that. Conspiracy theorists.
Well, now I'm the one that's ending on a weird.
Oh, you're good now? Yeah, I think we got it all out. I mean, this is what we spending our alone time on Valentine's Day.
This is what we do on Valentine's Day, and the only alone time that we have because our daughter
like,
is sleeping.
Like 7 o'clock.
This is what we've done. We've actually said, you know what? We're going to do a podcast and speak to the people who listen to us.
Yeah, and then we're going to go grocery shopping.
Because that is what we love to do.
We'll probably hold hands while we go grocery shopping, though. Specifically because it's Valentine's Day, even though we do that anyway.
We do.
Well, I don't know about grocery shopping. But today we should do that because it's Valentine's Day.
Your bulge is like really bulgy.
Hey. This is my shorts and you gotta, what are you... She looks at like the UFC guys like crotches all the time because
Oh my god, how can you not stare at
Well,
them?
they're wearing cups.
I know, but it makes them look huge. It's like you can't stop staring. I can't. And then they're wearing those tight, you know.
Probably the only
and
reason why you watch UFC.
I'm not even staring because I'm attracted to it. I'm just staring because I'm like it's like someone who has big boobs or it's like huge boobs. I can't stop staring. You have huge boobs. You know, it's like it's there. How does someone, if anyone says that they don't fucking look, okay, whether you're woman or a male or whomever, if you tell me that you do not even glance at a woman's huge boobs, you're a fucking liar.
I am waiting for like a boob slip in the UFC.
Or even a guy's huge dick, and you guys know what I'm talking about when they're wearing those sweatpants or whatever, and you can see the bulge from the sweatpants, okay? Anyone who tells me that they don't quickly glance at those two things is a fucking liar, and you're trying to be just appropriate, you know, like, but I'm calling you all out. Everyone does that shit. glance. I'm not saying like a perverted stare. I'm saying just glance. Mm-hmm. It caught your eye. How could it not catch your eye? As a person.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, man, I remember being in like insecure relationships where it's like you did see those things, but like if you said anything, like, you know, your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever would be like, what are you looking at that for? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You been there?
I guess with like my like nasty controlling old relationship I was in.
Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't really like.
There's a lot of relationships like that. And it's mostly women, I think. And I'm not being like gender racist or whatever. It just is.
In terms of women who are jealous? Insecure?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't tell you how many insecure men I've been with before I met you.
Oh yeah, men are too. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well, for all those people, if there's anybody listening right now, if you're with one of those people, like, just get the fuck out now, because it's never gonna end. Never gonna end unless you actually go to therapy or have a deep, many conversations and they figure out why they're
that person,
insecure.
that person would really have to figure it out.
Or unless you're okay with just dealing with that shit for the rest of your life.
Unless you're okay with that, and
then
guess
that's
what?
fine too.
That's okay, right?
Yeah.
Right. I tell people all the time, hey, if that's your decision, that's your decision. I'm not, like, I will say it's not the healthiest for you, but, I mean, you do you.
You should definitely be able to look at crotches and boobs together equally.
Absolutely. I feel like, if anything, though, I try and get you to look, but you never do. Like, I'm always like, oh my God.
Because I'm so respectful.
I'm like, oh my God, that girl's so hot. Like, and you're like.
Like, what girl?
What girl? And I'm like, what?
All I was doing was looking at you the whole time.
I know. I'm like, so like, oh my God, I don't know if this is like TMI, but like, Joe is literally like, you're like I don't think I've ever met someone so nice where it's like in the event that, let's say, we ever wanted to get a little risque, with just in the bedroom, I don't think Joe can. I'll be like, smack me, just as like a, like, if I did want to do that, smack me, and Joe would be like, I can't smack you, I respect you so much.
I wouldn't say that. I'd be like, doesn't it hurt?
No, you have said I can't do this because I respect you. It was not the smacking, because we don't do that, but it was like, like calling me a certain name or whatever, and you were like, but you're not that.
But why?
No, you said, but you're not that. And I was like, oh my God, my sweet, sweet man. I'm not. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Sweetest.
Yep.
Get yourself a man get yourself a man or a woman or whomever, a person who is healthy, who is loving, who is attentive, who is nurturing, who is balanced.
They're very hard to find these days, though.
Very hard to find. I'm not saying that they're going to be perfect, because Joe's not perfect and I'm not perfect.
Wow.
But, I mean, man, respect in a relationship is huge, And trust. I think that's a big thing. Trust. Huge. Enormous.
Yeah, you got to start off right,
huge.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day, how we kind of just we just started off all right and just kept the train going. There was no mistakes made.
Because, so trust gets built, right, based on someone's behaviors, right? Based on what someone does, right? So if I'm in a relationship with someone and from jump, let's say, they're constantly showing me inconsistency, right? Then a person's trust level is being formed around what somebody else is showing you and what somebody else is doing. Never once since the day that I met you has there been any inconsistency or anything, let's say, that I would even red flag. You've been consistent throughout everything. And so that formed my level of trust, right?
Well, there's also been a long process to get to that point.
For you,
other relationships and things that I've learned in other relationships. So once I met you, right from day one, I was like, okay, like I was on point. I was like, all right, I know all the things that I cannot do and should not do, and then I just lived that life, you know.
Wait, so before you met me, you were like, I mean, like right before you met me, let's say, if you were with somebody else, because like something that I really liked about you when I first met you was that you consistent, meaning. So, like, I don't know if anyone's ever like, but, like, you ever meet someone, I think girls go through this more, I'm not sure, but, like, I can't tell you how many guys I've met that were never, like, consistent with, like, calling or, like, you know, like, following up with you and talking. They were so, like, sporadic and so all over the place, but then they would tell you things like, oh, no, but I really, and I'm like, wait, but your behavior doesn't match up with what you're saying, so, like, no, you know? But you just did it. You were just always on point. It was just always like...
Well, I mean, at this point now, even just prior to meeting you, like, I mean, so we've been together for what, like almost 3 years now. And so, like, I'd say for like the past 6 or 7 years, I've been like this.
Oh, okay.
Where I've gotten to the point where it's just, I'm like this with anybody, whether I'm in a relationship with you or we're just like buddies, or it's a guy or a girl, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, what I'm talking right now is if I met you today, I'd be this way to you. Like today. The guy walking down the fucking street. Doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
And I know that probably, maybe, I don't know if that doesn't make you feel like special or anything, but basically it's and this is an important part, I think, is like you have to be, like you said, consistently you to all, not just like, oh, I talk to this person this way and I talk to this person this way. Like, yes, you have to kind of cater to some people because they understand different ways of communicating, but overall, like, you have to be the same. I mean, we're kind of getting into other things here, but
no, yeah, it's good.
But as far as relationships shit, it's like when I met you, I was like, I knew I had been hunting for you already, you know? And then when I found you, I was like, okay, now everything, I had no concerns about like fucking up or anything, but I just thought about it the other day of how it just like flowed. And because I know myself and because you know yourself, and individually we know that we don't want to like fuck things up or be a bad person in general, then it just works out, you know?
Right.
I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think there are people that don't understand themselves. They think they do, but they don't. Yeah. And it comes out when you're in a relationship, and like inconsistencies and like calls and shit like that, because, you know, you're out doing other shit. You don't really care about the relationship in certain situations or whatever.
Well, I mean, I think it's hard, obviously, to create a relationship from a healthy foundation if any person in the relationship doesn't really know who they are or doesn't have insight, right, into their shit or, you know, self-awareness, stuff like that. It's hard then for that foundation to come from a healthy place. Totally. Now, could it grow into a healthy place? Yes, but that would involve
lots of communication.
That would involve the individual or individuals to actually say, okay, so this is what needs to happen. I need to, you know, like either go to therapy, see a shaman, whoever the hell it is, you know, to really kind of help me to grow, because clearly I need some assistance, you know, and that's fine. Everyone needs some assistance, you know. People need people at the end of the day, you guys. We grow because of other people. You know, I mean, if I'm online at Target and I have a 2-second conversation with the lady behind me, bam, I just formed a relationship. Whether it was for 2 seconds or not, it was something that, you know, that contributed in some way.
They could have said something that impacted you for the rest of your life, possibly.
Yeah,
who knows?
I mean, people are important, you know.
Yeah, I met people on planes, on freaking trains, all kinds of people, just for like not that long, and they made an impact.
Yeah. But
that's another thing that goes along with this corona thing, the detachment, right?
Oof, flipping it. All right, turning back to
we're going back.
Going back to COVID.
But it doesn't, you know, it kind of mentally you're restricting yourselves from having those conversations because that person might have corona
That is
and
true.
you might get it.
Yeah, that is true.
Even though you might learn something and your life might change forever from talking to that person, you might get corona, so don't talk to them.
Restricting ourselves from being able to form relationships with anyone, you know? And again, when I say relationship, a relationship for me is anything, whether it is a 2-second, 2-minute, 2-hour, 2-year, whatever conversation, it's still a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay, so now I think we're good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, you gonna keep going?
No, I'm good.
I mean, this is a good one, I think. It's a good podcast.
Yeah, we hit some spots, definitely.
Yeah.
Got a little caught up in some conversations that we had. The race one always gets me. It's a difficult one for me to have.
Especially because the way that I talk about it, right?
Yeah.
If I was completely white and I talked the way I talk, everybody would fucking hate me.
Well, I mean, I guess you get like some kind of because you're Asian, but you know, I don't know if that's what. Maybe
I
that's how
defend
you see
Asians
it.
and whites.
That's it.
Well, no, everybody else, all the minorities and white people. Yeah, just everybody. I defend everybody.
That's true. You do defend everybody.
Yeah. I think that's where I get like
Is
defensive because everybody's just like,
no, I think
black
that's
people
where
are
you
white
get
people,
right. That's where you get, and that goes back to another conversation we had on one of our podcasts about how you and I aren't Republican or Democrat. We're just kind of like, like off to the side, and how that scares people and confuses people because people need to put people in categories because that makes them feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
So when you let's say defend everyone, white, black, Asian, Indian, blah, 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 it confuses people because people want you to pick a side.
Yeah.
Either you are all for Black Lives Matter or you're, or you're all for Hispanics and so I think that's where people may have the thing with you.
Probably. Whatever. Over it. People can think what they want. I'm not a bad person. I actually love everybody.
All right, we don't have to do this again.
Yeah.
We don't have to, all right, we're not going to spend another 30 minutes with you trying to prove to the world that you are a good person. All right, everyone. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this talk and have a great Valentine's Day or just a great day, man. Valentine's Day is just another day. Love should always just be given and received on a daily basis from whoever your loved ones are. So
speaking of, I mean, we don't really ever even do Valentine's Day, really. Although you did get me a
actually
card.
Let's be clear here. Let's be clear with these people. You don't do Valentine's Day. I actually always buy you something, whether it is Valentine's Day mugs last year, and a card, and then I got you a card this time, and I do all these little things.
Let's go out for dinner then.
But you actually never really do anything for me
because
for
every
Valentine's
day I do things.
But the reason why I don't care is because you really actually every day show it anyway and do something.
I put so much love into those smoothies. You don't even know.
I know you do.
It's in there every day. I care about your well-being. I am grateful that you do drink those smoothies now, because you didn't used to.
When I first met you, no.
Yeah.
All right,
let's go.
All right, guys.
We gotta go grocery shopping.
We gotta go grocery shopping. Yes. Bye, everyone.
All right, love you. Bye.
Don't you think, though, that because of the tough regulations within MMA and UFC, that they allow it to happen, but like weight and all of that still have to go into play. So you're not going to get unequally matched fighters because of the regulations. So it's just basically lifting bans off of the people that are allowed to compete. The tricky, hairy part is the other way around when females start taking testosterone, because testosterone is the one that really beefs you up. Estrogen kind of strips you down. So I think it would be more about the females turning into males, beefing up on that testosterone. But I don't know. I don't really know much about it either. Yeah, but here's the thing. The whole 400 years of oppression has created institutionalized racism again, and specifically within the system, the government, the laws is built in to be against specifically black people. They have Jim Crow laws that are still built in to certain states, which don't allow black people to have the same rights as white people. It's not Korean people, it's not Mexican people, it's black people. They had a white and black fountain, and that was only in the 70s. We're talking only 50 years ago. There are people, our parents lived through segregation laws. So, yeah, it is different.
Hey, you guys, first off, wonderful podcast. Love what you guys are raising in the conversation. And more so, wanted to just get back to you guys regarding the mental health stuff. I think you raised a really good point. You know, post pandemic, so many people have been quarantined and kind of fatigued being in front of Zoom. I feel like I'm in front of Zoom constantly with meetings. But one thing we wanted to kind of call out was travel. You know, you guys mentioned that escapism, which has become so popular. I think so many people are looking for that next big trip. And being in that industry, we're seeing so many new travelers start looking for trips just to kind of get out, see the world. And it's an amazing opportunity to escape that cultural relativism of what we see day to day in our own country and get a perspective of what's happening around the world. So thank you for raising that, and hope you guys are doing well. Thank you.